What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by two things. Since we don't do any sponsorships here on the channel, I'll show them out real quick. The first is my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name After Sound, and the second is a new podcast I just launched on my YouTube music channel called Chasing Infinity. It is myself and ChatGPT as my AI co-host, and we dive into a wide range of topics in short-form videos just like these, so check it out. Links in the description below, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys, I've talked about this idea on several live streams, and while I know it's probably not going to pick up traction, at least not in the near future, it's something I think we should consider, at least in the long run, as we expand into other game modes, as well as, trying to bring in new players and have a space for them. So as it stands right now, we have two formats, but, those formats are essentially the same in terms of you have to play at all leagues. You could, even at bronze, you can go up against max level decks. And part of the appeal of that is that if you go and you're able to get max level decks, you should be able to rise the ranks relatively quickly. But for new players, that could be a tough experience. It's also taken away from the fact that many other players like to play at the lower leagues. Maybe they were a bronze player or silver player or gold player, and they're no longer able to play that. And while I understand what Matt is trying to do and what he's trying to accomplish with ranked, I do think we are now missing a space for the lower leagues. And unfortunately, brawls and tournaments are just not cutting it. I mean, we need to add more, in my opinion, either to those formats or a new game mode. And what I'm proposing is that we have some kind of JV league. Now, this JV league is pretty much exactly that. For people who aren't familiar with the term JV, is junior varsity, right? So it's like a junior league. So while, we have novice, which is kind of like a training grounds, and that's cool, there should be an option, in my opinion. And again, I'm open to ideas. You poke holes in this, run with it, take whatever's good from it, leave whatever's bad. But the idea being that we should have an area in which people can play at the lower leagues. And I don't think we should have leagues themselves. But if you look at it and say, let's have another format, maybe it's modern only, maybe it's wild. Actually, I think that it would need to be wild just for the simple fact that we would want to have a decent amount of liquidity there, right? So what you would want, and this is how I'm kind of proposing it, again, it would be wild, but we'll say non-bots allowed, right? So it'd be a human-only league, and there would be liquidity bots from the team, right? So there would be opportunities for people to play at the lower levels. Now, I think that this should be capped at silver, right? Anything higher than silver, like gold and diamond, you start expanding the game a lot, and a lot of those cards are competitive with one another, even at only the gold level, for example. But bronze and silver can allow people to play at the lower leagues, and I think that's totally fine as long as you make sure the rewards are commensurate with it. So as it stands right now, I'm thinking that we could give a small amount of rewards to the lower leagues. Again, it's more so about having a place for people to play. It's not about them being able to go and farm crazy amounts of SPS from that, right? So right now, the reward pool for ranked is 5 million SPS per month, right? And that's rough. It started at 7.5 million. It's been reducing at roughly 1% for the last, 3 years or 2 years at this point. And it will continue to reduce. I'm thinking we can do a fraction of that, right? 50,000, probably no more than 100,000 SPS, which is what, 1 to 2% of the entire reward pool. We could either take it from the current reward pool, right, and split it, or again, 50,000 SPS per month is not that much. It's 600,000 SPS over the course of an entire year. It's not like we have the SPS allocated or available to allocate for that, either from the initial distribution that the DAO is receiving, or all of the SPS that we've loaded into it from, what's that called? From Riftwatcher sales and node licenses or any other thing, right? So there's an opportunity there for us to just have a small amount of rewards so people can go in and play. Now, here's the thing. It's going to be called Junior Varsity League. It's going to be small rewards and just people able to play at the lower levels. I don't think that we should cap it at bronze. People can come in and they can get a feel for things at bronze. But if you want to be elite at that junior varsity level, you'll need to start working your way up to silver. And once you do that, right, if you reach the precipice of that, well, then you'll know that you're ready for the big leagues. Then you can go in and play ranked as it's meant to be, and the chips will fall where they may. But I think what's nice about this is, one, you won't be running into anybody with like a max level deck, right? So therefore the competition should be significantly more competitive. Granted, like a maxed silver level deck against a novice deck is always going to kill it. I mean, a silver level deck is probably going to kill a bronze deck, but at least it's a little bit more competitive and you start to understand what the different things are. Also, the second thing that you can do is limit all of the crazy rule sets, right? So people can go in, and while I know bronze right now probably doesn't have a massive amount of rule set variety and different mana caps, you can especially make that a focus for this JV league where people go in and they have just limited rule sets, limited things that they need to learn and know, and they can slowly and steadily get their way, make their way through the game and understand it. And the last thing, and this is important because, again, I've talked about this multiple times, but to me, when I first started, the light bulb moment happened for me literally the first game when I earned, I don't know, a couple DEC. It wasn't even SPS at the time. It was DEC. I earned a couple DEC, and I thought to myself, whoa, I just played a game and I earned some money, right? It was pennies or it was fractions of a penny, but the paradigm shifted completely. And I think really that's all you need for people to experience when they come in. Don't give them the whole bells and whistles, right? Like let them work their way up to that, but send them straight to the JV league. Have them play around in there. They can use their energy. Again, you can cap the amount of SPS that somebody wins at like 1 SPS, right? And again, that's even if they have like a crazy multiplier. But to me, there's an opportunity there for new players to come in and participate. There's even an opportunity there for old players who don't want to play in what's that called? Bronze, or sorry, who don't want to play in the higher levels, but want to have like bronze and silver decks only. Now, I said wild earlier, but what you could even do is have it be somewhat fun and rotating, right? So it always has what's in modern, and maybe sometimes it'll include older sets, right? So maybe like some seasons it'll have alpha available to it. Other seasons it'll have whatever available to it, but it'll always have the modern sets available. And therefore people can come in and play and you won't get dominated by Kitty every single time, right? Kitty's not going to be at the top of the leaderboard because Kitty won't be there all the time. So to me, there's an opportunity here. Again, those are just the rough ideas that I have for putting something like this out, but I do think there is a space for it. The people who are calling for leagues to come back, I don't agree with leagues coming back, but I think there is a demand for having something available for people that want to play at the lower levels. Are they going to complain about the fact that they can't earn as many rewards? Yes, but you know what? That's part of the game, right? The rewards go to the top. The rewards are going to go to the most competitive people, and that's unfortunately how every game is, right? No game is giving out a ton of money at the lowest levels. Splinterlands did that for a little while, and we're still paying for it. We're still recovering from it. So at the end of the day, I think that there's an opportunity here. Again, take it and run with it. Let me know what you think. Very curious to hear your thoughts in the comments below, but that is all I have for you guys. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.